Now, so what is the first one? The characteristics of the DBMS, that is, it's a digital repository on a server to store and manage the information. Second one is it provides the clear and logical view and that can be processed and manipulate the data. Then nowadays you will be using your WhatsApp, you will be having chat history, you will be having something called images, videos, audios, that all things will be there. Now suppose in suddenly you lost your mobile and you have got replace your SIM card into a new mobile or an old mobile. Then if you want to use the WhatsApp, then whatever that is there old data that is there in the other device can be get it in the new device. Yeah, so what is the word you have used? You have used something called backup. So in the DBMS, it automatically backup and it also have the recovery procedures. So it is having a recovery procedures. That means I have the chances of recovering the lost data. So I can backup and I can recover the procedures. Then it will going to provide the security for my data. So it's another characters of the DBMS is to provide the security of the data. Okay. Then it will going to reduce the complex relationship. It is going to release the complex relationship between the data. So it is going to store this data on my server. It will going to provide the clear and logical view. It's going to provide the backup and recovery. Then it is going to provide the security. It's going to reduce and complex the relation between the data. Now what do you mean by complex relationship? See, yeah, it's not the error beta, it's like like I have been telling you in the yesterday's class, like I have something called admission is there, then I have fee section, I have the student section, or I have an hostel section or an exam section, I have a teacher section. Like this I have this kind of one area, then I have the result of the student, I have the profile of the student. Like this I have each and everything link interlinked to each and every data. So like this, if this is in a bigger one, if it is a bigger organization, now suppose this is a related to one college, now the same thing will be having with another college, again I will be having another college, like this. So I have multiple college, then we call this all thing as an university. So the university will be having the bigger data. So we'll be having the relation between the each and every colleges, saying that okay, if I could have the college code 1009 or 1005, whichever the number I'll be entering, automatically it will go into sort out to that particular department and give back the details to the so and so person whoever it is asking. So I'm trying to distribute my entire data in different servers, and I'll try to, that means though it is a complicated, because for handling one college itself is a complication to that particular organization. But if the university, if you say there are going to have thousands of colleges or hundreds of colleges, which is going to have the interlinked with each and every college related to the results or the data or whatever it is, so it's very difficult to handle such kind of complex relationship. Also will going to try to reduce the DBMS. So this is another characters of the DBMS which is going to reduce such kind of complexity. So it will going to sort out using some normalization, and some procedures will be followed. Based upon that, it will going to give the information to the relevant person. Suppose tomorrow if you may ask the RTA Act on the so and so college, it is in the position to give the data to you. So like that I will be having the characteristics of data. Now, coming to the characteristics, after common characteristics, we are following something called what are the advantages of DBMS. So, the first one is controls database redundancy. Now, again, a new terminology has came, redundancy. Now, what do you mean by redundancy? Can anybody tell what do you mean by redundancy? Yes, beta. Hello. Yeah, avoiding duplicates. So, repetition of the data can be reduced. Okay, so how it is been avoided? As I told you in the previous example, if you remember about this particular, if this is an admin, if it doesn't main the data properly, then everywhere it will be redundancy. So the fees section will going to know whether, if they doesn't know that whether student exists or not, whether he has been there or admitted or not. So like this, then fees section, whether this person has paid the fees or not, whether if the student belongs to our college or not. Then coming to teacher also, it will be having the confusion whether the student has been having the proper address or an ID or something like that. So like this, if the person has been not given, so he will be saying that okay sir, I am your student, so you will be accepting and giving the attendance. He'll be saying sir, I already paid it, though you are not inquiring about that. Even if you inquire that the person has given the, if it is the person has not given the 10% information to you, then there is a chances of redundancy repeating. So that means here also the person will maintain the same record, here also the person will maintain the same record, here also some record, some record. When it comes to the final result, the student will going to suffer. Either his name is wrong, or his date of birth is wrong, his marks are not belongs to him. Like this he'll be getting a complex complication about his degree. So in order to avoid such kind of redundancy, we are going to control the database. So it is going to control the redundancy because it stores all the data in a single database. Where it is going to store? In a single database. Now I will be telling you what is this. So I am telling this as a database. So when I say database, in our DBMS terminology, we call this as a collection of tables. So wherever you find collection of tables, a views, a synonyms, we call this as a database. So all together we call as a database. Now pictorial representation of the database is like this. So wherever if you find this kind of diagram, cylinder type diagram, then we call this as a database symbol. So as I told you that in this unit we are going to learn about the ER diagram. So one of the diagram of the database will be like this. Okay, so it is going to control the redundancy because it is going to store everything in the single data, and the record data is placed in the database. So whatever that you are recording, that recording in the sense you are trying to insert the data or to the table, that will be put it in the database. So this is the first one. So control against the redundancy. Coming to the second one, easy to share. So data sharing. Okay, so I cannot share to whoever the persons whoever I like it. It is under the control of DBA. So yesterday I was telling about the characteristics, or I was telling about yesterday's the importance of the task that has been given by the person. So who is the person? Is a database administrator. So if the person allows you to share the resources, so resources, whether your table, whether it's a synonyms, whether it's a view, whatever it is, you're trying to share the persons without any hesitating. So how it is possible? Because he is having some authentication. So in a proper authentication, you can authorize the users of an organization, and you can share the data among the multiple users. So data sharing has been become very easy to authorize for the authorized persons. Then coming to the another one, I can maintain it easily. So easily it can be maintained. So no stuff is required, no important big languages or the code, like I yesterday last before the 3 days back. One of your friends were asking, sir, do you require any C and C++ languages required to learn all those things? So as I told you that it's not necessary, because it's a simple language like English statement. We are going to write it and we are going to use that particular commands or the queries to execute our program. So similar fashion, data sharing has been possible. Then another one is it is going to maintain easily. How it is been maintained easily? Because it's not distributed. So distributed in the sense, I say I have some server over here, then from here I have some data. Here I'll be using some more computers over here. I'll be distributing. Then again I'll be having another server. I will be sharing few of the information to him. That means I'll not share the entire information to this. I'll share only the few of the things. He'll going to take care about the others. So like this, I'll be having easily sharing the data. Okay, so it is centralized and can be shared the data among multiple. So whoever the person who is asking, we are going to share the information in easily manner. Then next one, you can see something called reduce time. So one most foremost important one is I'll be going to cut down the time. Okay, so that it will going to cut down the maintenance needs. So it is very easy to maintain and it is going to try to reduce my utilization of the time. Then the character of the DBMS is what we said, something called backup is there. So advantage is what it have the freely backup. I can able to easily back up my old data and I can put it in the folder, or I can use any other hardware or software to store that particular data if it is required. So you are trying to collect the data, you are trying to share the data, you are trying to maintain the data. It is going to reduce the time. It is going to back up the your content. Okay. Then database, as I told, it's a it is a centralized, it is having network like this. If I put my data over here, I allow the n number of people to use my data. So what is the thing you will finding in the first one? It is going to have the multiple users, so I can have the multiple user interface. So I can have the multiple user interface. So these are the about the database advantages. So what are this? I can reduce the repetition. I can share the data. Easily it can be maintained. It will going to cut down the time. I can have always the backup and it will be shared by n number of people using interface. So these are the advantages of DBMS. Any doubt regarding this, beta? Hello? Any doubt regarding this? Advantages of database? So anyhow, I'll provide the material and the video links. Don't need to worry. But if you listen maximum this class or whatever the class is, then you will be then you can put on your paper the same example. So if you remember whatever the example I told you, based upon that particular example, if you remember those examples, automatically you can write your own that particular words. You can frame the text for that particular question whichever they ask in the examination. Okay. Now these are the advantages. So when I'm talking about the advantages, we'll be talking about naturally about the disadvantages. Yes, beta. Last one, beta. It's a multiple user interface. Multiple user interface. Yes, beta. They will backup, beta. First one is data redundancy, data sharing, then easily maintained. It is going to cut down my time, that is reducing my time. I can able to backup. and it is having multiple user interface. So whoever they want the data at whichever the place they can get the data. So you will be having one server, many clients. Now coming to the disadvantage of DBMS. The first one you always will find cost. Cost for the software and cost for the hardware. So why it is required, why it is costly? Because I need the data or the information on my fingertips. Do you mean what do you mean by on the fingertips? See, if I ask the person, I should be able to give the answers as yes, beta. Yeah, quickly he has to respond. So if the computer has to be give the quickly the response, what you will be considering? Will be considering about the speed. Okay, so if I'm consider the speed, that means I'm talking about the processor. That means my processor speed should be faster. Then as the data is going on increasing, because if you see that previously there was only offline classes, now the boom has been become the online classes is now mandatory, has been become in the all the colleges. Now what is happening over here, usage of internet has become more and more, and based upon that memory size has been getting increasing. Like suppose today I'm trying to record the video of your class, then I need the storage capacity. Okay, so if I go on start recording my all the classes for 2 to 3 days, then naturally you will be trying to finish off your memory of your mobile phone. That means hardly it will be whatever that space you will be finding in 12 GB, 10 GB, or whatever you find in your mobile, that will be lost. Okay, so like that when I'm talking about the speed and the processor, also we have to talk about the memory size, because it is going to store your information day by, because I that is not a particular place we can say that okay, I there is not required to store the information. Now each and everything is a position. If you think in a proper manner, arrange in a proper manner, if you process it in a proper way, then that can be become a information. So who thought that there will be a classes online? Everybody thought that will be offline. On the board we'll be going to explain. But what is happening now? We are getting the usage of mobiles or the internet. Now when I'm using the internet, then if I'm going for a video recording, I'll be having something called streaming. So we know what you mean by streaming. Do you know what you mean by streaming? Do you know what you mean by streaming, beta? Anybody? No. So for, yeah, I'll be give one example. See, normally I will be saying if I say streaming without any break, data should flow. Without any break, the data should flow. Is simple simple logic. So when I'm saying streaming, without any break the continuation data should flow. So single point also you should not have a break in my voice, like you will be saying sir your voice is not audible, your screen is not clear, like that. So I should not have such kind of break while streaming. Okay, so it is nothing like buffering, so it's like loading into your system. So lively when I'm trying to do it, so here what I'm saying, I'm trying to record. If I record it lively, you are recording. So what is happening when I'm going for the streaming, my bandwidth will be like storing of my data is not the big issue, but usage of my things has becoming bandwidth. So the size of the bandwidth going on regularly increasing. That means everyone is streaming, everyone is recording the videos. So if I suppose all has been putting in a burden on this particular server, so what happens someday, it will get crash. Say your mom has given the work, your dad has given you the work, your uncle has given the work, your teacher has given the work. Like this, everybody is bombarding on you. So what happens? You will be saying, sir or mom, I'm getting headache. Why? Because everybody is bombarding on you. So if I want to do such kind of things, I should be say the precautions not to have such kind of bombarding on my. So this is what I'll be getting. So whenever the person is being getting bombarded, naturally he'll not properly, he'll not listen the things properly. So what is happening? His his processor is not in active mode. His process is not in active mode to reply to work or something like that. So like that. So for that he has to increase his immunity. He has to have the cold drinks. He has to have the boosting drinks so that again he will get active. So like this, what is happening? Expensive. So similar fashion when I'm going with the hardware and the software speed, so I have to think about the processor, I have to think about the memory size, should not have any break of data to be flow continuously. Okay, so this is what you will find in the disadvantage. Okay, then another one it will say size. So what is going to have happen to this? It will going to occupy the space not only for the software as well as for my data also. So as I told just now, if I'm trying to record this for 2 or 3 days continuously, my storage capacity will be full. My mobile will not going to work if my storage of my mobile has been got filled. So the storage capacity of data, if it is filled, then my mobile will get hanged out. Okay, so why it is getting hanged out? Because day by day I am my data is going on increasing. I am trying to store on my mobile or my computer, so large data of the disk has been utilized. So memory will not going to work efficiently. Okay, so this is what the second one, size. Then coming to the third one, it will be having something called complexity. Complexity. Okay, what is this? It is going to create a database additional complexity and requirement. Now what do you mean by this? See, I'll be saying I want to go to my home from the college. So this is my college and I'm saying this is my home. Okay, this is my home, this is my college. So if my college is at Bashir Bagh, my home is at Nagar, then to reach this, I have not the straight line. I cannot go straight to my office or straight to the home. So what is there? There are lot of streets I have to pass. So I have to go left, I have to go right, then I have to go left, 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 right, left, like this. So that means I have to take the journey to reach to my destination. So this is my starting point. This is my end point. So what is happening, Gauri? Yes, beta. Screen. Not is not visible. Actually, comparing to yesterday, I'm not able to listen your voice, ma. Is my voice is audible clearly? Because your voice is low. I think most of the people voice is low today. So the complexity is database of the complexity is additionally creating. So the requirement has become more and more. So the complexity also getting increasing. Okay, then coming to the fourth point, if you say I have something called failure problem. So what is that? I'll be having higher impact of failure. Now what is this higher impact of failure? It is been in the most of the organization, what it will be following, they're going to store the data in a single database. Most of the organization what will do going to do? They're going to store everything in a single database. Suppose if it is happens something to this database, then what happens due to electricity or if it is damage, then data has been got corrupted, then you will be losing the entire information in this. So this is what the problem. So most of the organization, what they do, they're not going to separate this. Like suppose if I say, like if you wants to host any website, like if I want to host any website onto the server, so this is my server. Okay, S1. I have server S2. I have server S3 like this. So my file will be on this, my file will be on this, and my file will be on this. Right? Now I stay in India. I stay in something like USA, and I stay somewhere in Canada. Now, whenever I am contacting, now Canada, for the Canada, this server is very near. For India, this server is very near, and for US, both the servers are equal. Okay, so what is the scenario? Suppose my data which I have been hosting, that means whatever the data I put it, I'll be trying to put in not more than single. I'll be having one or two. So if the person has got any problem with this server, he can go to the nearest server. That means automatically without any interruption. As I told you in the concept, streaming. I'm constant of the streaming. Without any break, the data should flow. So without with even this person also doesn't know that there was a break between this server. As a user, I know that I'm continuously talking to this server. So that system will going to take care. If something has happened, electricity loss or something has been happened, automatically it will check the nearest place and it will jump to that, and it will going to give the information to this person. Similarly with this, now same as the with the India and the Canada also. So if something has been happened, there is a chances of this. So this is, if you think in a future way, then this is very good an example where it is an advantage. But if I don't do such kind of things, if I put everything in a single database, then the organization will going to fail you, that something has happened, or if your hard disk has been got crash, or your information has been got something virus or a bug, then it is very difficult to retrieve the data from the single database, because everything load you are putting on this. So if everyone has been asking you to do this work, that work, everything work, then at single time you will be break up and you will say, what is this? Is I'm only the person who are there over here to listen and to do your work. You try to contact on the other person. I'm not the person who's going to do all this work. So you will be trying to overcome. So in order to overcome that, see that. That means this is a drawback in the DBMS. In order to overcome this, you have to try to distribute your same information into multiple systems, so that in future something happens to this, I have a backup over here. So this is what is, if you don't do, it's in a bigger drawback in the DBMS. Any doubt, beta? Okay, is it clear? Okay. Okay, so now we'll see this DBMS. Now as I told you that there is something called RDBMS. As the title says, it is an RDBMS, and we are talking about the DBMS. So as a beginning itself, I told you that we should know the basic of the DBMS. Okay, then we can go with the RDB. So now I'll be telling about the RDBMS. So what is the difference between this? You have to tell me. Okay, once we have been covered this, then you should in the position to tell me what are the different things. So what is the full form of RDBMS, beta? Yeah, it's in a relational database management system. So it is a, yeah, it is a modern of this. That means it's in an older version. This has become the new version. So similarly, like you will be saying, Papa, you have become old. Okay, right? You wear the dhoti and the paisama. Now the fashion has been gone. Wearing of dhoti and paisama, you have to wear the jeans, half cut jeans, or what are the other things, XYZ. So this is the modern. So we'll be saying I am posh. Okay, so like that, we have been, that means whatever the disadvantages we are finding in this, it has been overcome by the RDBMS. Okay, so if you thought about the what are the systems, here you will be having something called the SQL. Here we will be having something called my SQL server. So we are talking about something called server. Then we will be having something called IBM DB2. Then we are saying something called MySQL. We have something called MS Access. Okay. Now, why we are being called this category has been come into RDBMS. Okay. Why all this been called as RDMM? Because there is something called 12 chord rules. We have something called 12 chord rules. So we'll be learning about this chord rules. So one of the expected questions we are going to know about this. So what about this 12 chord? So if any one of this, if any of these softwares have at least 7 to 8 rules that are been, yes beta, now, okay, yeah. So if any one of this, like all this software what we are calling this as an RDBMS, so in order to say this is an RDBMS, it is going to satisfy the chord rules. So we have 12 chord rules. So one comes to the topic about the chord rules, we will elaborate in this. If you know about this, then we're going to easily understand the normalization concept. Okay, so we right now you remember that we have these all softwares comes on the RDBMS because it supports the chord rules. So we call this as an EF chord rules. Okay, we call this as an EF chord rules. So it has been introduced by the chord rules saying that there are 12 chord rules of this. If this is satisfied those criteria, then we call that as an RDBMS. Okay, right. Now what are the other things we'll be finding? How it will going to work? As I told you that when I'm telling about the RDBMS, as I say in the yesterday's, I say something called tuples. Okay, so what is this tuples? Rows. So as I told you, this is a rows. So in RDBMS, data has been represented in a form of tuples. So in RDBMS, data has been represented. Data has been represented in a form of tuples. So in our case, tuple means what? It's a rows. Okay. So relational database is mostly used database. Maximum it contains the tables. So what the RDBMS will be holding? It contains the tables. So what the tables will be holding? It's a records. Okay. So table is records. We are storing the data and representing in a form of tuples. So maximum it will be having tables. Then each table will be having unique primary key. It is having its own primary key. Now when we come across the concept of constraints, at that time I'll give this definition. Right now you remember that primary key is nothing but it will not going to accept any null value. So not null plus unique, you have to remember this one. So when I say primary key constraint, so it's a constraint is nothing but set of rules. So the table will follow the storing the records based on some set of rules. So that is your primary key. So what is the primary key definition? Not null and unique. Now when I say not null, suppose if my table is there and I have some records, say X, I have something called Y, then I have something called data Z and M, something like this. Now, what is this place? I have not stored anything. Okay, so null means it's not empty, not a zero. So not null means what? There is an it has been given for future reference. Tomorrow this can have hold some information. Right now it is not zero, so don't think that null means zero. It's not zero. Okay, right? For future reference, that means right now the data is not available. Like suppose when you join to the new college, okay, then they'll be asking your personal mobile number, they may ask your communication address, okay, or they may ask your Aadhaar number. So what you'll do, you'll give your Aadhaar number, and you are going to give your father parents number. They may ask, then you're going to give your parents number. And if they ask a communication address, they will be having local address as well as the permanent address. So what you will do, you will be writing on the local address. Right now you have been not done because you stay somewhere in the Nalgonda and you came to the learning the join the college in the AMS, so you need the hostels or you have to stay with your friends or the nearby uncle. So you have been not settled right now, so you won't have the information of your address. So you will be saying to the academic section or the fees counter or wherever you go over there, if wherever you are, they were asking about your address or something, then you will be saying, sir, right now I don't have this information. Once I get the information, I try to fill it. So such kind of thing. That means when I'm saying not null for future reference, so null is what? It's an a, it's you are leaving, it's an empty. Okay, when I'm saying not null is what? It should not be kept blank. Not null means what? You should not keep blank. When I'm saying null, it is blank. Now it doesn't hold any value. So when I'm saying not null, it means that you should not keep it blank. I have to enter something, then only I can go to this. If I am in this, if I want to go to some other place, first I have to fill, then only I'll be move forward. That means mandatory, it will going to restrict me to enter at any cost some information over here. If I don't fill, I cannot go further. So not null. Then coming to the unique, what unique means what? If I give here y, here I should not give y. That means it should not be repeated. So this is going to avoid the duplications. Okay, suppose if I say one I have given to this person, the next time if this is having the primary key, then I cannot give this person one, because already this number has been taken by some other persons. So you can go with any other number other than one. So uniqueness. So now you can tell me the table which is having primary key is nothing but not null and plus unique. Okay, right? Now this is what the first point. Then due to collection of the organized set of tables, data can be accessed easily in the RDBMS. So what is happening? I'm putting everything in a form of tables. So I took the database, so I given the table database structure, that figure, so it will be like this. Now in this I'll be having putting all the tables, so I'll be putting n number of tables like this. So I'll be putting table 1, table 2, table 3, like this. I'll be putting n number of tables into this. Okay, so it is going to collect all the tables. Now whenever I want to use the content from any one of the table, it is very easily accessed for me, so I can able to easily access it because it has been segregated with some table. So this is table 1 is fee section, table 2 is an academic section, table 3 is your examination section. Like this it has been maintained separately, so that whenever I want the information I can easily access. Okay, so this is what the things. Now who has given this DBMS? As I told you that it has been represented by the EF card rule. It has been given by the EF card rule. Yeah, so in which year he has been given? In the year during 1970 to 1972. 70 to 72. Okay, so originally RDBMS used to call EF card rule relation model. Thereafter it has been slowly renamed to RDBMS. Okay, slowly it has been renamed as an RDBMS. So previously it used to call as an EF cards relation model invention. So we used to call this as an EF chord relational model invention. Like this we used to name it. So thereafter it has been renamed to RDBMS. Okay. Any doubt regarding this? Tuples and the domains, right? No. As I told you that database RDBMS is deals the data in a form of tables. So as I told you, what is the table? What is the table? Yeah, as I told you that table is a record. Okay, so it's consisting of record. So as I again I'll be given the example. So this is what I'll be having. So I have one table. So I will be having some your roll number. I will be having. I have your name. Then I have your contact number. Then I have something called your email, like this. So I'll be having roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3. Name is X, name is Y, name is Z. Contact number is something like this. Contact number is something like this. And I have email, it's a.gmail.com. Okay. Then I have something called b.yahoo.com. So like this I have n number of mails. So this is what you will find it. Then table is like this. Then in this new terminology will be coming, something like field. Now what do you mean by field? Yeah, it's consisting of rows and columns. So this is rows, this is rows and this is columns. So tuples and domains. Okay. Yes, beta. When in the RDBMS we are going to call as a tuples beta rows. Okay. So slowly we are trying to enter into the content. So now we are saying something called field. Now here when I say field, it's an entity of the table. Okay, it is an entity of a table with some specific information. We call that as a record. So this is a record. So this entire thing we call as a record, for which we have the fields. So now this is the fields. So roll number, name, contact, email. That means to this field I am trying to store the information. All together we call this as a record. So now you can see in the depth of this entire thing we called as a record, what we called as an information. So it is a single data, it's a data, it's a data, it's a data. But when it is coming out of this, all together we call as a record. When I am saying what is the roll number 1, so I will be saying roll number 1 is X, his contact number is this, his mail ID is this. So what you are doing, you are trying to give the information. So in order to store such kind of information in a table, I need fields. So this is the fields beta. So heading to the your information. So to all my information, I need some headings. We call this as headings as fields. Is it clear now? Now I'll be saying roll number is a field, name is a field, contact is a field, email is a field. Now roll number is a number field, name is a character field, contact is a number field, email is a character field. Now you got it? So different types of fields we are having. Based upon that, I'll be storing the information. So seeing roll number, I'll be saying it is a number. Seeing the name, it is a character. Seeing the contact numbers, I'll be having the number. Like that, in order to see on seeing this particular thing, I can able to, okay, I have to keep the information in this fashion. So we call this. So table will be having field. Table will be having field. Now we call this as a record or a row, or a tuple. See, sometime I'm saying record, sometime I'm saying row, sometime I'm saying tuple. So don't get confused. These are the three different synonyms for the same content only. So you can say it's a record, you can say this as a row, you can say as a tuple. So different names. So we'll be having our pet names in our at our home, in the college we have the nicknames like this. We have different names, but all are will be name for that particular person only. So similar fashion, the text, that information that has been stored, we sometimes we call as a record or the row or a tuple, for which we will be having the field of various data type. Fields of various data type. What are the different types of data types you are here find? One is numbers, one is characters. So we'll be learning the in-depth of that different types of thing in the third unit about the different types of storing capacity. Okay, so right now just you remember that there is something called table. To that table we'll be having the fields. So don't get the confusion. Heading of the table is nothing but field. The information that are been put it in the table, we call that as a record, row, or a tuple. Okay, is it clear now? Yeah. Then already I have given something called definition of the unique key. Then in that primary key I told it's a not null. So what do you mean by null? What is normal null means? It's a blank. Okay, you have to remember that it is left blank during the creation of the record. That means right now the information is not available with me. Just I am keeping blank. Okay, it can be spaces or it can be anything. Okay, it can be filled with zero or it can be filled with spaces. So if you are putting zero or spaces, it is having some value. So zero is also a value, spaces also is a value, but if you are giving the spaces, it's a blank. So don't say that null is zero, it is in a kept blank. Yeah. Okay, right. Now in the rdbms we'll be seeing about something called data integrity. We'll be saying about, we are telling about no data integrity. What is this? It is having something. Now here you have to listen very carefully. Here we'll be having some categories. One is entity, one is entity, another is domain, another is referential, and another is user defined integrity. So entity integrity, domain integrity, referential integrity, and user defined integrity. So we have four different types of integrity. Okay, now coming to the entity, here we'll be saying no duplications in the table. So there will be no duplicates. So you are taking care in the entity integrity, saying that I don't have any duplicates in the table. Okay, so no duplicate rows, no duplicate tuples, no duplicate records. So sometimes I'll say rows, tuples, or record. So when I say entity integrity, says that I'm saying conformly that I don't have any duplicate rows. Okay, then coming to the domain. Okay, now I'll try to restrict. I will be try to restrict the type, restrict the format. I restrict the type, I restrict the format or range of values. Range of values. So I'll be trying to put such kind of restrictions. So you are, when I'm saying domain, you're trying to enforce the entries. That means when I'm trying to enter the record. So here I'll be saying, here I'm trying to enter the records. Where is that? Trying to enter the records like this. So I'm telling the field, this field. So contact is a field. I'm informing this person to maintain only or to accept only the numbers of 10 digits. It should not cross. So I'm trying to say that this person should have only 10 digits of contact number. If it is more or less, I should not accept. If it is less, don't accept. If it is greater, don't accept. It should be equal. So I'm trying to forcibly put in the restriction saying that this contact should accept only numbers. This roll number should accept only numbers. This name should a field should accept only characters. So that means you are trying to put forcibly restriction to this particular table saying that you have to follow this format. What is the things? You have to follow the this kind of format, this kind of type. Okay, range of values depending upon the scenarios we will be using. So this is what the domain. So entity is ensuring no duplicates. Domain means restricting. How we are restricting? By giving the type and the format. Now, important, very important is referential. Okay, it's a referential. So the name it is saying referring, referential. So I'm trying to refer. Now I'll show you one example. I have told you in the beginning of the class. Now also if you remember, now this is one I show you this diagram. If you remember, this is your admin, this is your fee section and all the things. Okay, now if the person is giving the roll number to him 1, if 1 that is 1501, 1501, 1501, 1501, 1501, 1501, 1501. So these are all the different, what you call, domains. So this is fees section, this is your exam section, this is your what do you call, teacher section, your sports section, whatever it is. So we have different sections we have. So to all this, admin has provided the roll number to this. So that means this teacher is having 1501 as a student, this examination branch has a 1501 as a student. Now if the person tried to delete the number 1501 from his admission record, what happens? If the admin tried to delete the 1501 from his records, yeah, in the all the department that is data is depend on this, so everything will be getting lost. Is it right? No. First of all, he cannot delete 1501. Though I have a super permission, I am admin. I cannot delete this because on this, these many people are depend. So he is like your father. These are your children. So I cannot kill the father because all the children are depend on this. So if you wants to kill the father, if you wants to kill the father, what you have to do first? You kill the child. You kill the child. Automatically he will kill. Okay. So this is the logic you have to remember. Okay. Don't write this in an example. Just for remembering purpose, I'm telling you. Okay. Right. So what is that? This is an admin. Why? Because he cannot delete, because this number is referred by all the departments. So all the department has been referring. So all the departments are referring. That means this become the master, other are become the child. So the childs are totally depend on the master. So the examination branch can delete the number from his record. The other person can delete his number. No, madam. Okay. My mobile has been got heated now because continuously we are taking a class now. So I just within two topics, I have two concepts. So the examination branch can delete the records from his data. So that means from his side he can delete that particular 501. So they have their own authentication. They can kill them, but he cannot remove the number from this because this number is depend on all this facts. So all are depend on this. So he cannot delete this. He can delete their own numbers. Once all has been removed, then this can be possible. So if I want to remove this 1501 from all the things, first of all, every department has to remove that. So they have to remove that data from their database. Then only he can remove. He cannot directly remove all this because he has been assigned the data to him. So he won't be having that much of control. Though he is having a control, he cannot go into their records and delete. So the teacher has to delete this 1501. The other sports person, examination branch or fee section has to delete that record of the person. Then only this person admin will going to delete this. So referential. So the name itself is saying referring. So when I'm trying to delete the record, it is not going to delete it because it is being using by other. So referential is referring. So it is referring to others records. So you cannot delete this one. Then coming to the last and the last one, what is that? User defined integrity. So it is going to enforces some specific rules defined by the users. So the rules are different from the entities, different from the domain, different from the referential. That means he is going to create his own rule. So previously we are following saying that no duplications, we are restricting some columns and something like that. Then we are having some referential, we are referring to some tables. Now user is going to define his own integrity. He's going to write his own logic. He's going to make some business rules because it's like which are been not available over here. He wants to create a new thing so that it will be different from these three things. So it is nowhere related to the referential, nowhere related to domain, nowhere related to the entity. It will going to have its own entity, okay, for which it is going to develop a specific business rules. Now this is about the data integrity. Okay, any doubt regarding this? Yes, one better. So user defined. See, I'll try to put the rules or restrict something. Okay, I have my own rules, some rules. Let's suppose, like if you remember few of the movies or something like that, the the administration will be giving some rules. Like as I tell you one example, like uh, your madam has been your principal madam has been appointed me for your classes, and she has given some instructions saying that you have to take 2 hours of the class, then you should be taking attendance. Like this, she has given some instructions. Apart from that, I am having my own rules. Okay, I am not violating the rules of entity. That means I am not violating the whatever your principal has told. I am not violating, or I am not neglecting those things. Considering those links, considering those rules, I have my own rules saying that something like giving an example, like I am giving the assignments, I am putting the quizzes, I am telling you to write daily the whatever I am dictating, or whatever the lectures I am doing, I am telling you to forcibly you have to write it and show it tomorrow, or you submit online. Like this, these are the rules and restrictions which has been kept by the user defined. Now suppose you are tomorrow you will be complaint on me, sir, madam, sir, daily is giving lot of homework for me. He's telling me to write it. What is this? What he thinks, the sir? So he's telling me to upload the things. I don't have all the facilities. So, ma'am, then you are going and complaining the teacher or your higher authorities about me, saying that this is. So they'll be asking, what they under I have told you to use these rules. What is the other rules? Why you are going for that? Why you are crossing the limit? Then I'll be having an explanation over there, sir, madam. In order to have these people on the right track, this is what I am doing. If it is sorry, if it is anything that has been gone by me, we extremely sorry for. But these are my rules. I am not against your rules. Just I have been adding some rules to this existing rules, saying that if you follow this, because if they may ask for me the material and all that, so I mean not in the position. Whenever I'll try to dictate or the tell on the classes, if they start writing just before going to the bed, the points whichever I showed, if they read it, if they see them, then automatically no need of extra notes, extra material. Now with this example, the your madam has been got satisfied, then she'll be coming to you. Even if you complain, they'll be saying, no sir is right, what he's doing is correct. Like that she'll be explain, then you'll be saying, okay, even if you go to the principal also, this was not used. Like that. So this is what the example. Okay, it's not the exact picture what I am telling you, so don't be get, I'm not scaring you with this all example, just I have given an example because if in my mind whatever that has been come to an example. So if I want to tell about the user defined integrity, the best example is like that, means I'm trying to enforce my own rules. Okay, so it has been defined by the user, so it is different from the entity, domain and the referential. Okay, so the example which I told you, it is really different. So what the madam has told and what the sir is doing, so this is what the difference. Okay, so entities, I'm trying to avoid the duplicates, that is there is no duplicates, I'm giving the confirmation that there are no duplicates. Then I'm telling that domain, saying that you have been putting some restriction on the different types and the format, you are following some ranges. Then I'm trying to referential, so when I'm referring, then I cannot delete the master content, cannot delete the rows from the main database unless until I delete the link. So it has been linked from another n number of tables. So I have to, in order to remove from the master, I have to remove from the bottom. So that is, bottom is what, the links that are being shared by the master. So I have to go to the child table, remove the data, then I'll come back to the main data, then I'll delete it, then it is possible. So this is referential. Coming to the user defined, your own rules followed, not violating the other and other three integrity. Now this is what about the data integrity. So here I'll be wind up in the class. Thank you everyone. So if you have any doubts, you can just put it in the chat box, so that by 5 minutes of in the chat box will complete it, then whereafter I'll take the attendance. Any doubts, beta? Today very few people has renamed their roll numbers, but others has been not doing the same thing. Purnima Patnaik, what is your roll number, ma? Yes, beta. 20. Yeah, section A, can you tell me the attendance, please? 20 is there. 02, 04, 23. 50, yeah, 51 is from section 1 or B? 51. Bhagyalakshmi, section A or section B, amma? Bhavani, beta. Bhavani. Bhavani. Section B. 99. Then 11. 104 is from section B. Ganga. Ganga ma. 13 or 30 nama? Okay, right. 73, 75 section B. And Hanisa. Hanisa, what's your roll number, beta? 106 section B. 116. Okay, beta. Yeah, yeah. 68. Now I am checking your numbers. So those are not having Kirtana. You change. You please try to change your names, ma, while login. Before logging, you try to change Kirtana, Hema, Hema. What is the number, ma? 115. Okay. Kirtana, I didn't got the number, ma. Is Kirtana available? Yes, beta 76, huh? 124 is somebody, no? Kirtana is who is the 126? 124. Okay. 121. Sony 48. Yeah, yeah. That I guess it. 102 is there, or 22 is there. Manasa, Manasa, Manasa. అగ్గ సాంగ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి ఎవరి దగ్గరనో.